Yo, what up with the other? How you doing, bud? Just getting things set up. Okay, we will be getting started very, very shortly. Just finishing up a couple steps here. Touching up a couple things and be right with everybody. All right. What is good? 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 It's Friday, ladies and gentlemen. And maybe okay, there it goes.
It's gonna be legend.
It's gonna be a great Friday. Great Friday, great weekend. It's literally just the wife and I this weekend. Our daughter and her daughter are in Jacksonville with her friend. So it is just the two of us since yesterday. It's been kind of quiet, not having to share spaces with anybody, which has been kind of nice. Okay. All right. So we are going to get at it because queuing is not in our forte. Let me move my water cup over here. But I hope everybody's having a great Friday evening, good start to their weekend. Man, it's been some hot days in July, hasn't it? And we ain't even hit August yet, which tends to get somewhat hotter sometimes. But as we are queuing up for... Actually, we're going to stay here. It's enter the second apocalypse circle. So we're just going to go to the duty finder. We're going to go to, it's not dungeons. There we go. That's what we wanted. That's what we want. All right. All right. So average wait time says 5 minutes. Let's see. Hey, Celeste. How's it going? See if 5 minutes holds true. Celeste, if you want to join, all you have to do is let me know. I don't know if you're busy. But your buddy has left me hanging tonight. Okay, so we gotta go back to Oh, okay, that didn't take long at all. That did not take long at all. Sorry, my sub is out for a bit. Okay, no worries. No worries. I get it. I've considered dropping my sub for a period of time there, but I was like, you know what? Then what else would I play? Oh, come on, DPS. Don't let us down. DPS, dude. DPS. Don't let us down. Don't let us down. He's about to let us down. The DPS is going to let us down. Ads go crazy. Yep. I kind of figured that was going to happen. She didn't take long enough for the second one to queue. There we go. Okay. So these are the normal raids. And we're more than likely to get people here. To hop in with us. A little quicker. Okay. I get a lot of people from Hyperion, the FC from Hyperion and Siren to come through here and play. Listen, we step away for food and that's when the queue pops. Yeah. Maintain. That's not what I was trying to do. Raids are always easy enough. Those are always usually pretty easy. The ones that really gave me a hard time was the ones in Stormblood. Stormblood ones were ruthless. Well, thank you everybody for coming by and hanging out tonight. I appreciate it. It is Friday night. You could be anywhere, but you're hanging out with me. Appreciate it. That is that's the second of 12 raids. The stories between the first 4 usually aren't very long. Then you get story, and then you get the second 4, and then you get story, and you get another 4. Honestly, I probably don't really need any of this. Probably got stuck with most of it. We'll see how it goes. Oh, everybody left before I can do any accommodations. That's cool. So as you see that they go pretty quick. They're not as bad as some of the other ones we've been in. So let's see how it goes for the rest of the night. I knew that you were no mere mercenary, but to make such clean work of the hippocampus, seasoned fighters scarcely has the occasion to visit Pandemonium, let alone display their skills. Mastery takes all forms indeed. Needless to say, our plan worked to perfection, in no small part thanks to you two. Themis' power was more than enough to complete the intimate. Spellcasting was never my strong suit, but that almost made me feel like a proper Megos. Truly, have seen your abilities firsthand in your fight with Duran. I beg to disagree. Shackles is the one exception, and 'tis only because I've been forced to practice it since I was but a small child. Other magic leaves me feeling completely out of my depth. Regardless, it seems luck is on my side to guide me to you. We may prove the impossible possible after all. Okay, get back to this over here so I can actually be okay. I can see all strengths. You know what? I feel like I have a lot of those. Alright. So we will probably be moving right along. It's usually a little bit of story and then moving on to the next fight. While our success in sealing away the hippocampus is certainly heartening, the fact that we have yet to see any other wanderers concerns me. The key word of Aphrodosius is nothing if not cautious. Doubtless he has gathered what wanderers he could and retreat to a safe area. Let us hope so. It occurred to me that I know little of the keywords besides their magical powers. Is there not more you can share? Of course, a man named Hesperorosus is in charge of the Adolphus. The A. We're just going to call it the A. For anybody who don't know, what are we going to call it? It's going to be called the A because I'm not pronouncing that every time incorrectly. Not only does he have thorough knowledge of the creatures here, but he takes the great pains to be mentor to each of the wardens under his charge. He has done much to ensure that I flourish here, in spite of my ineptitude at magic, and I have always known him to be the sort of man who faces difficult decisions with unwavering composure. Furthermore, keywards are not only masters of instrument, they can also bend. What's up, J. Will? Appreciate it, my guy. They can also bend the hallways of Pandemonium to their will with creation magics. With all this in mind, I am certain that so long as Hesperorosus guides them, the other wards are safe. I could see why the absolute control over the invors is imperative. Had we faced the hippocampus upon arid sand instead of the watery waves, I suspect the battle would have ended much more quickly. In any case, if Hesperosus is capable of carrying, as you say, we would do well to seek him out as soon as we can. He has not taken your colleagues to a secure location. Don't sure that read right, but okay. The safest place would be the innermost circle of the A. From there, they could flee to the Abyssos if hard pressed. Now they're just making up words. Even should they have sought safe haven within the other circles, if we make for the fourth, we ought to encounter them on the way. Indeed, we shall gain comprehensive understanding of the situation with the A, which will be essential in determining whether we ought to continue down to the Abyssos. Bro, they're just making up words. It's just making words up. It's just saying we're gonna put abyss and we're gonna add an OS to the end of it and throw everybody off. That's what they just did. The rub, of course, is that I myself possess no power to bend the circle to my will. Instead, we must proceed through the central corridor, which was barred by the Phoenix the last I checked. Phoenix? I've heard of that name before. A fiery bird with life eternal. There you go. Here's your Marvel reference, everybody. Beyond unquenchable brilliance, the perfect concept boasts nigh boundless restorative powers, if I recall. Truly an exemplary feat of creation magics. Perfection is ever built on the backs of failure, however, and La Habrea suffered countless missteps during his experiments. And he was hardly the only one. This Phoenix will be but one of many attempts at the concept gone awry. Aye, from afar evoking wonder, of the Phoenix is the creation of fury and wrath, and seeks only to turn the world to ash. Thus was it confined within the pandemonium. Developments of the concept continued elsewhere, but as the moons turned more and more, researchers abandoned the project as impossibility, save for La Habrea in his words. When I received word that at long last La Habrea had succeeded, where many others had failed, I was nearly overcome. Pray tell, how did the wanderers of Pandemonium celebrate their master's accomplishment? I don't believe we did. The research of the words of La Habrea was little consequence to our work here, save for those rare times it charged us with a new specimen. Truth be told, I don't remember anyone making note of the occasion. But enough reminiscing. We must make ready to confront the Phoenix. When it is possible that it flew off to some other wing of Pandemonium, we would make that assumption at our own peril. Better to assume that we'll need to bring the A's most unruly subject to heel. I certainly see no reason to delay. The Phoenix's power over flame will avail, it far less in the barren corridor than elsewhere, so it may be well serve us to subdue it sooner rather than later. All right. Probably not long from the next fight, to be honest with you. These stories are really relatively usually pretty short between each fight. Ooh, excuse me. There it is. There's something. Oh, okay. What? Dude, that was the guy they was just talking about. Where did we go? Where did we go? It seems whoever is behind this can alter the space around us at will. We face an uphill battle. Impossible. If those were creation magics at work, then that means... Let us confront the reality after we have conquered the enemy in front of us. Every drop of our focus shall be required if we are to enter the Phoenix. Okay. That should be, yep, quest accepted. And that should be the third circle. Now accessible. Alright. So let's jump into Duty Finder. Third circle. Actually, I probably need to... clear that. Pick the third circle. There we go. Now we're up to 10 minutes. But it didn't take 10 minutes last time. So take this moment's break to say what's up to everybody. Again, appreciate everybody who's here hanging out with your boy tonight on this Friday evening as we surf the Final Fantasy lands and go through these, what we call the P rates, P normal rates. I think that's what they called them. I could be wrong, but I was pretty sure they were called the P normal rates before I started playing. We're going to finish these raids off at some point. My guess is over the next 3 Fridays we'll be doing these. And then on off days for Final Fantasy, we'll be doing the Hildebrand quest, getting caught up on all that through Endwalker. So we're almost through the Realm Reborn one. Then we got Heaven's Ward. I think Stormblood. Then Shadowbringers didn't have one. And there's the... Didn't see, not even 10 minutes. Shadowbringers didn't have one. And then Endwalker. So the stories are quite lengthy, but there's a relic weapon at the end that I kind of want to get. So that people will say that I may like. All right. That's a different looking Phoenix than we normally see. Yeah. He's dead on my ground, you know. Okay, let's try that again. off me. Go. All right. That is fight 3 now. It's actually going a lot faster than I anticipated it would tonight. But nonetheless, it's a good thing. Nonetheless, it is a good thing. I think I'm going to have to go look at my inventory, though, because it's pretty full. I need to go dump some of this off somewhere. Yeah. So we'll get out of here. Let me look at my inventory once we get out of the cutscene. Before I pick up the next one. Check out my gear. Or check out my inventory. What the Phoenix is shackled once more? However, there is yet still the matter of this arena. As you told us, there is but one person in the A with the ability and the authority to wield such magics. Though, fortunately, it appears he has saved us the trouble of finding him. A complete, contemplable display as befits an inferior specimen. Definitely demolish that word. Even so, I was expecting it would at least delay your advance. Imagine my surprise when I saw the chains of the intimate drag of the Phoenix back to its cage. Either the bird is even more of a failure than its creators cared to admit, or you are no means of trespassers. Bro, let me hit you with this axe real quick. I hoped our suspicions were misplaced, but alas. Keyword Hespercero. Why? Why have you brought such chaos to your beloved pandemonium? Henceforth, P writes. Pandemonium, pitiless, impenetrable, and utterly steadfast, unlike those charged with its keeping. Why has possessed you, or what has possessed you? I don't understand. Oh, Erythrodonius, you must pester me with these inane questions. Think for yourself. Surely you can muster a theory or two with that dim wit of yours. Then again, you have never been one for insight. Why, Master La Habrea suffers your mediocrity. I shall never understand. Wow, that hurt a little bit. You may look like him, but you're not the Hespercero I know. Something has warped you too, from the inside out. The keyword I knew had compassion for all those under his charge, be they clad in robes or shackled in chains. Was that all a facade? Did you hide your contempt for us all these years? Those who are content to merely glimpse the water's surface are doomed to be dragged into its depths. You prove my opinion of you with every word. My mind is clearer than it has ever been. Even now, seeing you feebly grasp for answers makes the bill rise in my throat. What up, Brian? How we doing? Such wasted potential to be son to Master La Habrea, yet no more skilled with magic than a newborn babe. But of course, it's always about La Habrea. Silence! You are not worthy to utter his name. For once, be grateful to witness a feat beyond your meager abilities. Beyond your shallow reckoning, I have slipped the surely bonds of mortality. I have become one with our mythic creations and rid myself of imperfections. I stand upon the threshold of godhood. As a Hemathotheus shall I serve Master La Habrea, even faithful unto the end of days. Is that his way of trying to put us in chains, fam? And he shall require no other. I think not. Are you so blindly by arrogance that you have lost sight of what it means to serve? Ekertrithonosius is more capable than you could ever know. I'm sure I said that name all wrong. It was to think to his instructions that I was able to master the art of interment, both how to wield it and how to break free of it. Durand, let us quit this place. Whatever poison has corrupted Hesperosaurus' mind, it is plain his power far eclipses our own. We must have time to gather our strength. Excuse me. Weaklings though they may be, it takes a singular aptitude to master interment so quickly, to say nothing of how swiftly that familiar laid low the phoenix. Regardless, their noble aims will be their undoing, where their fritters away and their strength in claiming the beast of the A. I continue to work. Even should they survive long enough to reach the heart of my domain, naught shall await them but doom. I eagerly await your arrival, Eric Phenocius. Even dullards have their use. Okay. Alright, close this quest out. Then we're gonna probably go do something real quick with our gear, and then we'll come back. We'll get right up into the fight, and then we'll do something with the gear. My darkest suspicions have been realized. We faced the keyword of the A himself. More than that revelation, however, Eric Theosius worried me. He loved his Hesperosaurus for his compassion, but received not but scorn from whatever the keyword has become. He has said little since our return. I only hope that the shock of the recent events does not prove to be a death knell for his resolve. Let's get this one. Man, I got a lot of that little stuff, bruh. We'll get to the quest. We'll already to the fight. Before we go into the fight, we will go drop our gear. It's pretty full. Probably could actually do the fight. I guess do the fight. Then we'll go do something with the gear and we'll see what time it is after all that. Alright, let's push through. As much as I am loath to disturb Eric Athenosius so soon after what just occurred, I am afraid we're just going to call him Eric from here on out. I'm not going to call him by his full name. I'm afraid circumstances do not afford us the luxury of time. That full name is a tongue twister. Perhaps it will do him well to speak about recent events concerning both the keyword and his father. Alright. So. The creation of the ward which surrounds Pandemonium was an outstanding feat of magical prowess, a feat accomplished by none other than La Habrea. That both my father and I can bind others in chains is perhaps the only thing that we have in common. Ah, so it is true. I am La Habrea's son, bereft of his talent for magics or his brilliant mind, but his son nonetheless. Surely this doesn't come entirely as a surprise to you. Nay, I had an inkling when you said you had practiced ethereal shackles since childhood. Assuming you haven't been employed here quite that long, it had to indicate some long-held connection with La Habrea. 'Twas La Habrea that taught me how to cast the ethereal shackles, but that was it. My further education was overseen by the words of La Habrea, more specifically, my mother, who was a researcher there. You did speak of Athea, chief keyword before La Habrea. She is your mother, yes? How astute. I can see now why you were chosen to lead this investigation. You're the right of it. Athena was my mother, and it was she who invited me to join her here. La Habrea had nothing to do with it. I see. There is little love lost between you two. What I cannot see is why La Habrea was appointed chief of keyword when another was already in place. Was in place? My mother is no longer with us. And La Habrea was all too eager to assume her responsibilities, with nary a moment to spare to mourn her. What love do I owe him now, when he offered none, not one drop of compassion then? Ah, I see. She is no longer with us. An expression to convey the end of life. I have known only the public face of La Habrea. While he is lauded for his ability to maintain composure in the face of unnerving circumstances, I must admit that oft he comes across as cold. Apologies. But can we speak of something else? This topic isn't an easy one for me to discuss. Of course, there are more pressing matters at hand, after all. Namely, how to deal with Hespesoro. I'm going to call him H. I'm going to call him H from here on out. We have yet to see the other wardens. Judging by what we know, we can summarize that H has confirmed them somewhere beyond our grasp. And now that he is aware of our presence, he will be preparing for our next encounter. We cannot expect to face him on equal footing. Quite the opposite, in fact. Every moment we spend chasing after the creation is another moment H can contrive another advantage for himself. The wisest course would be to find him first and foremost. Oh, knees. Knees is killing me, y'all. He said that he has become one with the creations. Perhaps that means he is vulnerable to interment. In theory, that should be possible. However, is it enough merely to confine him after all he has done? I need to know why. I need to know what drove him to forsake everything he worked for. Was it truly all so he could serve his master? To my mind, he has merely put LaPierre's own work at risk in trade for some nebulous power. LaPierre is the chief keyword of pandemonium. How would throwing it into disarray win his favor? It doesn't make any sense. I share your curiosity, but we must consider that our enemy has us at a disadvantage in every sense. What do you think? Should we seek to put him in fetters, or would it be too dangerous to allow him to quarter? We can go with either I want answers to, or if you fail to confine him, I can always strike him down. Let's go with we want answers to. That was a lot of mouth moving for I want answers to. Daring as ever, I see. I know not which trial you have faced in your past, but to see you so certain is all convincing I need. Very well, let us try Eric's plan. Thank you, Duran. I believe I can shed some light onto the nature of our foe. When H spoke with us, I noticed he bore the telltale things of the Valkyries, a beast which fed off the ethers of its prey. Likely that it is creation H merged his essence with. And we know all too well that he can change the environment around himself at will. The battle will not be an easy one, but I believe in our victory. Well, stop talking, let's get to fighting. Let's get to find this guy. Alright, this will probably open the fourth circle. Not gonna lie to you guys, my brother's biceps and back is a little bit on fire. That was the workout yesterday. Along with some cardio. Alright, I think we're okay. We can go ahead and proceed forward. Let's get out of the duty. Okay, cool. Alright. Oh, that popped quick. That was fast. And then after this one, we'll step away for a minute, and then I'll have to remember how to get back. I'm sure it'll be easy. All right. These are popping much faster than the stuff from the other night. Much faster. Excuse me. What's going on, Months? I don't even have to look. I can't do that. Oh! Standing the wrong way. Standing the wrong way. All right, there we go. What is this light show? It's called Fights Months. We are in the normal raids. Affectolius is complete. Okay, so this part is complete. It's a 3-part series of 4 fights each. That is a minion. She left. Just want to give her a commendation. Yes, MCLC has been long done for over a year now. What's up, Taz? Appreciate you stopping through, my man. Now, Themis, we end this here. Yeah, I left MCLC April of 2024. Fools. I will not be put in chains. To think that I would fall before one such as you. Perhaps I should have treated you as more than a mere nuisance. I'll tell you my reason here in just a minute. Despite your victory, you shall never have the knowledge you seek. The secrets of my transformation, the secrets of my deception, they shall return to the stars with me. You are wasting your breath, H. We have the upper hand now. Surely you can see that. Yes. My repertoire is not exhausted yet. However, although I have failed, my end shall be on my terms. Dude, just... I remain loyal to my very last. Come what may, I die with dignity. How did your ambition lead you astray, H? You were better than that. Your star shone more brightly than any other in Pandemonium. You had La Brie's respect, his trust. What more did you seek? That you would forsake all that, and sully your legacy besides. He became so blinded by his own desire that he lost sight of his duty. In the end, he lost everything, and his planes lie in tethers. I fail to see any dignity in that. Even so, I would have liked to know why he chose this path. H infatuated with your father was his undoing. Perhaps he was jealous that fate had chosen you and not him to be La Brea's son. So terrible did the jealousy become that he sought verbatim power that La Brea would be unable to ignore. How does a purist for respect warp one's heart so? How do infatuations with one person turn in contempt for everyone else? Or infatuation. I don't know what I said there, but I read it in my mind as infatuation, then heard my mouth say something else. I've never heard of such a thing. It's not as uncommon as you might think. We'll go with that one. I see. I admit I cannot find it's vexing. But perhaps that signifies not but my own capacity for bitterness. I do understand what it is to have a beacon to follow in the dark times, a person you trust to guide you true. How is it to desperately wish their light would fall upon you again? But We have spent enough time assuming the intents of the departed. There are the living to consider. We must find the other wardens and round them up, remaining creations forthwith. Of that, at least, we can be certain. I believe I can be of help in that matter. The influence of H's magic is fading throughout the A. Now is the perfect opportunity to seize control of the facility and restore things to their original state. Seize control? Can you really do that? All right, on this quick break, ask why I quit MCLC. Yes, Month said it pretty much. Got repetitive. Went from 5 stars to 6 stars, 6 stars to 7. I was like, wait a minute. I got to pay to rebuild my roster all over again and or put in the time and effort that I was already putting in too much of to make it happen. And I was like, let's play different games. And so in April, I decided that I was going to hang it up after 8.4. The end of 8.4 was when, after I did my run there, I hung it up. Would I ever come back? More than likely not. I don't see a reason to come back. I wasn't a big fan of the 7-star thing. I honestly didn't even push to rank 7 stars until right at the very end when I left, because I said that I would become Valiant before I left. So I did everything to become Valiant, and then at the end of 8.4, did my rank ups and said peace. So no, I don't think I'd ever would come back to MCLC. I enjoy coming to other people's streams and hanging out with the community. I do miss the people, but I don't miss the game at all. Not at all. There's a lot of repetitive in that game. As I say that as I'm playing this game. What? What is this presence? Eric, what lies beyond that threshold? That's the passage which connects the A to the Abyssios. Why? Be on your guard, you two. Now that the A is free of obstruction, I can more easily sense disturbance in the lower levels. Something stirs in the Abyssos. I see. Thanks for the reply. Have a good rest of the day. Hey, no worries. Thanks for hanging out. A warden sigil. How? Let us return to the gates for now. I should like to appraise the situation from there. Needless to say, our investigation is far from over. I wish they just let us be in a continuous cutscene till we got to the end. Although we have defeated H, it appears that we have but scratched the surface of Pandemonium's troubles. My head is still swimming with questions, but could this mean that H wasn't actually behind this? It is a stark possibility, yes. The root of this crisis may lie somewhere much deeper than even the Abyssos. When we first encountered you, you said the memories of your escape were vague and that your senses were muddled. I believe this was more than the result of a panicked mind. You were made to feel this way by a powerful magical influence. It is possible that this same magic could have poisoned H's heart, twisting his affection for La Habrea into a burning obsession. Then in his altered state, he was made an offer of power he could not refuse. Wait, are you suggesting that someone else turned H into that thing? If so, it stands to reason that they wouldn't stop at him. Indeed, our mysterious mastermind does not lack for subjects for his experiment. For more potential hemethio. I'm sure I said that completely wrong. Completely wrong. If what you're saying is true, then my colleagues, they're doomed to share the same fate as H. He died. Can we move on with this thing? Do not lose heart yet, Eric. H challenged us alone, and that tells me that the process of his creation was long and taxing one. If he was the first Hemetheus, then the rest of the wardens are likely still alive. However, much as I would like to hasten deeper into the pandemonium, the way forward is sealed off. We must force our efforts on finding a way through. With the creation still having free reign over it, the A? That won't be easy. On the contrary, I've yet to retain control of these circles, and thus we can wield intermittent magic within their halls of will. The creatures will pose no threat to us. Just like that, then nothing stopping us from returning order to the A. Just so, I shall require your expertise to keep that peace after the subjects have been returned to the confinement. However, you are the A's sole remaining warden after all. Truth be told, I did not expect this investigation to become so involved. Of course, I would like to resolve matters here without resorting to outside help, but... Do you mean to send a report to La Habrea? 'Tis too soon to say. Let us first find a way to the Abyssos. I'm sure, just jacking up all these words. It would be best to withhold our judgment until we find ascertain whereabouts of the other wardens and the identities of the party responsible for the disappearance. Agree. Even so, if it means saving a single life within pandemonium, then I am not above asking La Habrea for help, should it come to that. Recent discoveries certainly paint H's actions in a new light. The number of unknown elements in this investigation grows, and we must proceed forward with the utmost caution. To that end, Eric and I shall remain here for the time being. Much as I enjoy your company, I do not believe we shall be needing protection so long as we remain in the A. You should take this time to rest. Surely you are weary of there may be more battles ahead of us. Themis' burning may grow heavier in your absence, but he's shown that he's more than capable to bear it. Still, I would help whoever I am able. All we've achieved so far has been thanks to you two, and I mean to repay the debt I owe. I don't know what use I can be outside of placing the creatures, but I'll find a way. Nonsense. You owe us nothing. It was thanks to your knowledge of the magics which govern this place that we were able to come this far. Elsewise, we would have likely succumbed to the hippocampus assault. Bro, they're just making up words. Each of us has arrived at this desired pass by a separate paths, but it's only by combining our respective expertise that we will reach the end of it and see Pandemonium saved. Thank you, Themis. H's words seem to have affected me more than I realized. Together, we've come this far, and together, we will reach the end. I have no doubt we will. Even so, let us allow Durand his rest. Besides, you have someone awaiting a report on your progress, yes? I dare say your story will be much more than they've ever imagined. Alright. So... speaking with Claudine at the Eupora. And then before we go back in, we're going to get rid of some inventory and probably check on our gear. We're not in bad shape. Okay. Welcome back, Duran. Back from the past. None of the worse for wear, I see. So what did you find? I'm gonna go on and tell them everything by talking like this. So, there is evil afoot in the Pandemonium. Already ominous place. I must say, mythic beasts and missing wardens? Truly, we were fortunate to see you return to us in one piece. It appears that the voice of the brands heard from the crystal spoke the truth. As for who left it behind and why, those are yet questions to be answered. Indeed. It could be someone who's living among the ancients, or it could be someone who's trying to avert tragedy from the future. It must remain shrouded in mystery. Yet, eon by eon, we shall unveil the mystery. With that help of Duran, of course. By his actions was the fabric of the past reshaped, yet he returns to the same present he left. What up, the other? Welcome back, man. How are we doing? I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. We were in we did 3 fights. They actually queued up very quickly, which is very nice to see. We are probably going to figure out how to unload some of this gear that we need to unload, and then I think I got some time in Dorma where I can unload some stuff there, and then I don't know if I got anything I can unload on the my retainer to sell. So we'll take that look too. Which could only mean one thing: that his interpretation in Pandemonium's crisis is but one of the countless building blocks of history upon which our present has been built. Excuse me. There is no telling what consequences would arise if we stop pursuing this matter. Whatever plot is unraveling within the Pandemonium, we must not let it reach its conclusion. If one of those creatures should escape, what ripples would it carry forth to the future? Had to step out for a while, took the family out to the splash pad. This hot weather is not fun. No, bro, it's been hot. Like stupid hot. It's been hot, and it has not been fun. It is not fun. The first final days has already had a drastic effect on the eons that followed. If the scars that left were made even deeper, then we risk losing our present entirely. I don't know why this knee bothers me so much. Whatever the cost, our connections with the future of Elpis must be preserved. I know I have asked much of you already, but can I count on you to continue your work in the Pandemonium? Yeah, I got you, fam. Your tireless efforts are much appreciated. If there is aught we can do to ease your burden, you need only to say the word. Speaking of which, might you return the crystal into our keeping? While we cannot accompany you to the past, perhaps something can be gained by researching it further. But why I gotta give you? So normal raids tonight, right? Yeah, these are normal raids. Yeah, I don't. That's it. We might be done with the normal raids for tonight. I'm not sure. Depends on how long it takes me to kind of finish a couple other things up real quick, like the rest of the story. It shines just as splendidly as the day we met. We shall begin work right away, but I cannot promise any meaningful results for some time. And as matter in Elpis seems to be in similar state, I must ask that you rest. But before that, Allow me to make an introduction. As our research moves into its critical stage, I found it only suitable to recruit another assistant. Maylene is an expert in armaments from throughout history, be they from the far-flung past or made in even the most modern forges. You should find out of interest in your adventures. Bring it here, and she would be glad to offer her services. We know research in numerous fields that would love to get their hands on artifacts from beyond bygone eras and would give you a goods in return that should aid you in your trials ahead. Furthermore, if you ever wish to pursue the records of your events, you have reports here. Nimjin has been taking faithful and thorough notes. She is at your complete disposal. That's a female Lala. I thought it was the male Lala. They're hard to tell apart. I sense that we have embarked upon something monumental, something that will dwarf all else I have accomplished in my many years of research. I can think of no greater honor nor reassurance than to have your capable assistance in the endeavor. If there is anything to be found that will contribute to your success, we shall find it. We shall not rest until we have unlocked the mysteries of the crystal, and you will be the first to know when we do. All right. I'll grab one of these because I got a lot of the other ones. I gotta figure out what those do. Use those somewhere. Okay. Because I don't want to not remember where this is. We're going to pick this up real quick. And go through the little cutscene. And then we're going to go, do stuff. Duran, I've made a breakthrough. After uncountable days and nights, I finally hearkened to the crystal's whisper. And I must say, Professor Claudian, where are your manners? While I understand all too well your enthusiasm, I must remind you that even the most academically inclined prefer a composed recounting of events. Yes, of course. My apologies, Duran. Being consumed by my research for so long, I'm afraid I have quite forgotten how to engage in civil conversation. In that case, perhaps we should start from the beginning, with a crystal set adrift upon the ethereal tides, containing the memories of a party yet unknown. They cried out for deliverance from Pandemonium, where the ancients kept their volatile creatures under lock and key. You yourself witnessed the power devouring the facility from within, and the advent of a divine monstrosity, wrought of mythic beast and powerful mage. Fortunately, your mortal prowess and the combined magical talent of your companion, Themis and Eric, was sufficient to restore order to the circle of the A. But the greater threat remains. In depths of Pandemonium, a presence yet stirs. Its intentions and identities shroud in mystery. That is the issue at hand, is it not? That it is. Since you returned to us, we worked tirelessly to discern the nature of the crystal. In the process, I detected an anomalous etheric signature, which I believe arose from the memories stored within. Analysis of the pattern suggests a feeling of loss or yearning, specifically the yearning to be made whole, and indeed ambient readings have revealed a faint but identical signature. This could only mean that another such crystal exists in our time. So, my friend, I must depart to search for it forthwith. By tracing the matching ether signature to its source, I believe it will be a simple matter to find our crystal's twin. Professor, will this expedition be carried out by us, or will Duran grace us with his protection? I'm afraid he has more pressing matters to attend to, my dear Rusinian. Namely, to seek out the secrets of which lie nestle pandemonium where this all began. From all that we have heard, it appears that time traversals from the crystal tower is not fluid. That is to say, one can, but travel in predetermined intervals. It would be prudent to check in on occasion in case there are any unanticipated changes. As for you, my loyal assistant, I would ask you to remain here and continue cataloging the ancient creations. You can't mean, do you intend to search for the crystal on your own? Why, yes, that would be the most efficient use of resources, would it not? In fact, I have already commissioned a ship and pilot for the very purpose. I trust that you will take good care of the laboratory in my absence. I think I read on. So, trust you to take good care of the laboratory in my absence. I apologize for a somewhat abrupt departure. When progress is in sight, Professor Claudian tends to become blind to all else. Indeed, he has been worse than usual. While I cannot fault him for his excitement, I do wish he would spare a thought for those around him. For reasons unknown, the crystal seems loath to be overheard, much as it spoken only to you last time. None but the professor has been able to capture its ethereal yearning, which has served only to convince him that he can solve this puzzle on his own. Surely, after some time alone, he'll come to remember how valuable we are. The search for the crystal seems to be a simple enough matter. Let him have his adventure, and upon his return, I am certain he'll be back to his usual self. As for you, Duran, it may be best to return to Pandemonium, as Professor Claudian suggested. Speaking of which, I did have requests of my own to make. Traveling to Pandemonium requires you pass through ellipses, right? Correct? There is something I would have you investigate in my stead. While those creations confined within Pandemonium are considered to be failures, I doubt that's their whole story. Barring exceptional cases, they must have been under observation in Ephesus before being consigned to their shackles. And if we know anything about the ancients, it is that they would have kept thorough records of the results. Ha! Brilliant! Divulging into the records may shed light on the creations Duran has yet to encounter, if your theory proves correct, that is. While there are no guarantees, it certainly beats the current strategy of rushing forward blindly with only his strength to carry the day. For your own sake, and as well as for ours, please unearth what information you can. Bro. It's the beginning and the ends of these stories that are long. Or longer. They're not as long as the Lion's Rage ones were. Alright, cool. So we are going to... We'll pick up with Nims later. Why does she have a... Oh, I probably shouldn't have done that one. Alright, we're here anyway. There should be an archive and it helps to some simple bring the useful information, and since every researcher worth his salt knows the knowledge that is better than part of the battle, I suggest scouring every corner before returning to Pandemonium. Oh, this is how I unlock the savage parts of the raids. So right now we're not gonna do anything. That's why. Okay. Let's head to the Dormant Enclave, because we can do a summoning bell there, and we can then pawn off some of this gear as well. There is a lot of people here. Actually, before I do that, all right. Let's see. So, see what we can sell first. We can sell any of our gear. It's not worth selling. What is this? Warrior. It's a level 84 ring. I think I got everything on I can. Let me check my. I don't think I have anything. I can't. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Everything I have on is a top gear right now. So I can actually get rid of that. First one, see how much we can sell it for. Alright, someone's got on the board for 58,000. So we are going to have it on there for 57.5. We'll just undercut them by a little bit. That way, if two people want the ring, two people can have it without too much of a price difference. This is short. Is that it? Okay, so that's it. That's all I can sell there. Alright, so then next we're going to see what we can sell here. Alright. Alright. Honestly, I'm not sure what. I wonder if I can give this to that one lady who was looking at all the. Oh, I got the minion. I didn't realize I got the minion. Okay. All right, we're done with that for now. Let's go back to the inventory. Let's go ahead and get the minion. And now the minion's available. What else? Tofo's Blessing Kit. What? What is that? Okay, so some of the stuff is going to go. So this, I wonder if I can get this to the. I don't think I need that cog for anything. All right, let's go over here. Bro, I have no clue what most of this stuff is. But I do know I want to get rid of these. I'm sure I should use this stuff somewhere, but I'm not sure where. Bro, it's so much stuff. Like, I don't know what would be good for what. Like, do I need to keep any of this? Do I give any of this? Do I just give this stuff away? Just to make room? Like this. I only have one of these. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Anything I only got one of, we're getting rid of. Watch me need this stuff. And I got rid of it. Oh, okay. Alright, and then we're almost at 20,000. So I'm gonna do 20K a week. I think that's how it goes. Purple carrot juice. What the freak is purple carrot juice? I know the food at some point comes into play. And these potions come into play somewhere. I know this stuff comes into play somewhere. What is this? Stone gold nugget. Like, I have no clue what to get rid of and what to keep. Acidic secretion? What? Why would I need that? Alright. Alright, we're just gonna donate that. And then until I figure out what's what, we're going to put the rest of some of the stuff in my servant Jay Wilson. For those who don't know, I named my retainer name J Son W, as in J Will, because you know that's my boy. Alright, so we can entrust, that's not what I wanted. Let's put some of this stuff in there. I don't know what most of this stuff is. Let's put all these in there. Put these dyes in there. Matter of fact, you can get all this stuff in there. I have no clue what any of this is. Get rid of all these. Let's see here. No clue what that torch is for. I need those. These, right now, I have no need for any of that. Oh, there's another minion. Okay. Actually, no. Okay. So everything, okay, I got most of the stuff gone somewhere. That makes sense. Let's just get it going. Now, this stuff here, I think the stuff I picked up in those last couple of raids I did. These 5 items right here. So we'll do something with that. This is a wind-up minion. So we just need to pop that. And these are in regular tomes of allegory. I think I need those for gear in the next level. Alright. can't send them on ventures because I think I need to do something to get more. I think I need to get my grant company. All right, so there's a little bit more empty inventory. Oops, I didn't do that. Let's go back here. Let's clear out one more inventory thing. Let's see what these little ugly menus look like. The ones I just opened up. Alright. Here's one of them. Bro, that is one ugly looking thing. That is one ugly looking dude. And then I unlocked another. Here it goes. It's like a bat. I don't want no bat. And then I got one more here that I haven't. Oh, Neurosis. I'll wind up Neurosis. That little thing right there. Okay. Put them away. All right. We're at 11, almost 11 o'clock. Okay. I do have to work tomorrow. We will pick this back up with. We'll go back here. The brother is tired. He had a long day of work. A long day of work. All right, I need to go this way. I love how you can just fly through trees. All right, this is where we will pick this back up. Probably not pick this up the next time we start streaming, but we will pick this back up next Friday for the next set of raids. There'll be 4 that we can jump into, and according basically what we've seen tonight, hopefully that continues on where it's been like less than 5 minutes to get into a fight. So that helps with the flow of the stream as well. But we'll be back maybe tomorrow with Final Fantasy or either Split Fiction, depending on how the wife's feeling. And if it's Split Fiction, then great, because it's been a while since we've done that one. But if it's Final Fantasy, then we'll hop back into the Hillbrand stories and kind of go forward from there. But until then, it is your boy Ghost Dog saying thank you for coming and hanging out tonight. I don't think I have anybody on the Twitch side. On the YouTube side, what are we looking like? Akbar streaming, so you guys can go hang out with Akbar. I'll send you guys over there. Here's that, and you can hit with a hashtag DogRay. Like I said, I don't play the game anymore, but we still support people who do. Until then, it is your boy Ghost Dog signing out. Peace.